So the Dallas Mavericks have kind of had a really weird and somewhat unorganized off-season, I believe, that's kind of ended up actually being really, really good for them. They actually brought in a couple players who I definitely believe could help Luka, of course, win a championship. Again, they started off by drafting a center, which I thought was a really good idea. They, again, didn't trade away a bunch of picks to get rid of some certain type of bad contracts, like potentially a Tim Hardaway or a JaVale McGee, like other people believe they would. They managed to bring back Kyrie Irving, which was really good. You give Luka a second star who is a 25-point per game type of guy any given night. You didn't trade Josh Green. You brought in a really nice 4 in Grant Williams, who I genuinely believe could probably and most likely will start on this team. Really, really good shooter, one of the best in the NBA, who's also an extremely underrated defender as well. Again, the Dallas Mavericks kind of did all of the right things. One of the big things I think they needed to do was get ultimately bigger in this offseason. Again, it was very odd watching Reggie Bullock have to play the power forward position when we know that guy's been a shooting guard for most of his career. So at this rate, they definitely got a lot bigger. And at the time of making this video, again, they continue to want to build this team for Luka right now, with it currently being reported that the Dallas Mavericks are extremely interested in signing Kelly Oubre. And this is, of course, being reported by Michael Scotto. Now, again, I think this is a really good move by Dallas. I believe the whole point of this offseason was to get dramatically bigger and, of course, add some defense to this team, because it was just kind of not there. Like, when you look at Dallas's team, they had some good defenders, but the defenders they had in players like Reggie Bullock were really out of position and playing much bigger, which made them look like they were a lot worse on defense than what they probably ended up being. And again, now if we look at it right now, they definitely got a lot bigger by drafting a center. They brought in Grant Williams, who is a genuine power forward who I think should be able to help this team out quite a bit. And again, they want to continue to bring on these, taller type of players who are extremely good defenders in a guy like Kelly Oubre. They also brought on Rashawn Holmes, which is going to be interesting to see how he works with the dynamic of this team. Again, another upgrade to Dwight Powell, I believe, at center. But if you bring in a dude now like Kelly Oubre, there's not a whole lot this team doesn't exactly have. I feel like Kelly Oubre is one of the league's most underrated guys who I feel just really bad for in this offseason, because he kind of got pretty unlucky. The team he was with had a really weird, I think, free agency in the Charlotte Hornets, because even though Charlotte are really, really bad, unlike the Houston Rockets, they didn't have a lot of money to spend. In fact, they really didn't bring in anyone. Again, they brought in Miles Bridges, but only on around $6 million. I don't really think they found necessarily a good caliber starting center completely like everyone thought they were going to this offseason. Again, they did improve it, I think, but yeah, they still haven't brought back PJ Washington. What's going to be going on with him? And once that all happens, I don't even think they're going to have enough money to offer Kelly Oubre really that much at all. And while Kelly Oubre was waiting for Charlotte in the mess of the situation that they've been in to kind of do their things and potentially offer him a contract, so I believe he probably wanted to stay, all these other teams just signed a bunch of players. Like, again, Cavaliers got Max Strus on $16 million, and potentially, they got George Niang as well on about, $8 million. And all these teams signed all these role players to good money. And while Kelly Oubre, I think, was waiting around for the Charlotte Hornets and whatnot, all these teams kind of thought he was going to re-sign, and they had their eyes on all these other type of players. And I think he just kind of missed out on a really good opportunity. And right now with the Dallas Mavericks, I think they've got a mid-level exception, but again, it's probably not going to be a whole lot. The realistic thing as well with Kelly Oubre that I think is really unfortunate is I think he signed with the Charlotte Hornets on a cheapish deal just to try and see if he could work his way back into being a $15 million type of player. And I think he did that. I just don't think the opportunity really came around. So, realistic thing is, he might have to go to a team like Dallas and for a third year in a row, try and prove that he can be a 15 million per year type of guy. And I think he can really do that on Dallas. I think on this Dallas Mavericks team, they have a really interesting starting five. I believe it will be, of course, Kyrie, Luka, Josh Green, who I think will even take a bigger step next season. You're looking at that, and then at the 4, of course, you're looking at Grant Williams. At the 5, it will probably be Richaun Holmes, I would assume. Off the bench, they've got some nice players. You'll have Tim Hardaway, Seth Curry, they also signed. You'll have JaVale McGee there. I'm not sure how much he'll play. Jaden Hardy is there. Maxi Kleber is still on this team. Frank Ntilikina, I believe, came back. Dwight Powell. There's a lot of really good things about this team, but again, off that bench, I don't think there's a whole lot of defense. They've definitely got a bit better in their defensive starting 5, but off that bench, there's definitely room to maybe bring in another defender. And I really think a guy like, Kelly Oubre would be really, really good for this team. Not only will he add the really good and necessary defense that I think the Mavericks have been looking for this offseason, which they have slightly improved on, bringing in a dude like Richaun Holmes and bringing in Grant Williams, I still think it'd be really nice to add in another guy. They've much improved the bench in that starting 5. They much improved the defense in that starting 5. But I think now it's time to improve the defense off the bench, which they've slightly done already, but get it even better. And I think bringing in a guy like Kelly Oubre would add a whole lot. Again, there's not a whole lot of forwards coming off that bench. You got Maxi Kleber, who is of course there. Tim Hardaway, I guess, is more of a wing, but he is also there. There's not a whole lot of forward depth off that bench. I think bringing in a guy like Kelly Oubre, though, would help out and be highly beneficial to this team. Not only is a dude who's going to give you elite defense, but I think he's going to help out with quite a bit of scoring off that bench as well. And again, it's just bringing in height. He's a much taller player than a lot of the players they have now. Very athletic, can switch 1 through 4, can probably even play some small ball 5 if you need him to. Did that on the Golden State Warriors a bit, and somewhat on the Charlotte Hornets. This dude is an athletic defensive beast who I think would really, really work on this Dallas Mavericks team. And I know the Cleveland Cavaliers are interested in him, but it would almost seem like he would probably be nearly better suited to go to a team like this Dallas Mavericks one, where he can cement a role off that bench, be an elite defender, and of course can help out with the scoring. Again, he doesn't need to shoot threes. This team is really good, 3-point shooting team. You'll have Kyrie there, Seth Curry there, Josh Green, really good shooter, Tim Hardaway as well, Grant Williams, one of the best literally in the league. There is so much 3-point shooting going around with this team, and I know that's not what Kelly Oubre specializes at, so that doesn't really matter a whole lot to him. And he can just come in and do exactly what he knows he can do best, which is play really, really good defense and be an athletic guy who can help out and score. Again, this is a really good situation for the Dallas Mavericks if they can potentially get Kelly Oubre. I think that would make a whole lot of sense, of course, and I think this would be a very good signing for not only himself, but I think for the Dallas Mavericks. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys think Kelly Oubre should, of course, re-sign with Dallas, or do you guys, just sign with Dallas, sorry, or do you guys think you should maybe re-sign with the Charlotte Hornets? Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channel, and this channel as well, if you haven't already. The other channels will be linked down below as well. But yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.